Greetings and salutations, it's Nina. Welcome back to my channel. We're not even gonna talk about why it's been so long since I sat down. We're just gonna celebrate being here today. That's what we're gonna do. But anyway, welcome back. So I'm just gonna do a quick face for you guys. I'm gonna take my braids down, do a simple little style, and chat a little bit about some things that are going on in my life. So the big thing that is happening for me is that I am turning a milestone age this month. Some people say it's not a milestone. That really annoys me because I do feel like every birthday is a milestone, but I am turning 35 and I was always afraid of 35. That was the age that I was so scared to get to because 35 is the age when geriatric pregnancy begins, and I always felt like it was just the beginning of old. 35 just felt like the beginning of the end. I'm old now, officially old, and like there's I'm being really dramatic, but I did feel like 35 was just, it wasn't a good age. I don't like the number 5 really. I don't know about y'all, but I am like very particular about numbers. So I like the numbers 4 and 8. So I was really excited to turn 34, but 35, I'm like, I don't know about that. So this foundation is full coverage because I do have a lot of hyperpigmentation. I have a lot of acne scarring. I didn't imagine that I would still be breaking out at 35, but many people do. So yeah, it's a totally normal thing. It does look a little bit orange on camera, but in person it is my color. My neck is lighter than the rest of my body. My neck and my hands are really light, and my feet. So I like to use bronzer around my forehead for the darker areas, and as it gets even hotter and summer kicks up, I'm probably gonna need something darker. And then I like to sweep it down, kind of like a little bit of contouring. I'm so not good at contouring. If you are somebody who does your makeup really well and you're wondering why I'm doing certain things the way that I do them, don't judge me. I actually am pretty excited to turn 35 because I feel like it is the end of the BS. This is the age where I know who I am, I know what I like, I know what works for me, I know what doesn't. And okay, quick note about this concealer. So this is NARS concealer, and I had one that was a little bit too dark for my skin. It was kind of like blending in, so I decided to get this shade. This is like 2 shades up, and it might be a little bit too bright. This is medium dark 1 biscuit. Yeah, it's crazy how the camera is because in person it looks fine. But the camera is like, whoosh, ghost face killer. A little bit of bronzer down my nose just to keep it from looking so pasty. It's not about creating a new nose, it's just keeping it from looking so pasty and flat. I am a late bloomer. I didn't graduate from college until later because I took time off and just to like explore my options, find myself, stuff like that. So I really felt like my life began at 30. And you know, I know for a lot of people that's very grown, but 30 is when I really felt like I had come into my own, that I was doing things I wanted to do. 30 was really the point where I felt like I was starting to live for myself and really just embrace myself and enjoy life. And I definitely would tell anybody who's struggling in their 20s, it does get better. If you're willing to do the work, you do get to a point where you just stop caring about certain things. And yeah, so I'm doing this all kinds of heavy-handed, but that's okay because I'm going to blend this out. I do ask myself, am I where I want to be? Am I where I imagine myself at 35? And truthfully, no. I'm I mean, I am kind of where I imagined I would be, but kind of not really. I thought I would have several children at this point. I wanted 5 kids at one point, but now, you know, being older, when you live a little bit of life, you realize, that's probably too many. So I'm gonna use some of the concealer to carve out and define my, my eyebrows. Okay, so I did do my eyebrows a little bit darker than I normally do. They're just gonna be super defined, and that's what it is. A little bit on the nose. So I've been using Blink mascara since the end of 2019. And this is not sponsored, but it has a tubing effect versus paints. So it doesn't like end up underneath my eyes, which I cannot stand about regular mascara. But yeah, I imagined that I'd have kids, that I'd be married, that I would just kind of have this, I don't know, I guess, traditional American life. And it has not turned out that way, but that's not to say that it's not good. So this isn't going to be anything special. I mean, I'm not going to necessarily recommend this lip color, but I just like to have something to cover my lips. I'm going to finish it off with some Urban Decay All Nighter Spray. All right, guys, this is the finished face. So I'm going to take my braids down, and I have some pure argan oil from Shea Moisture, and I'm just going to use this because I don't like to take my braids down with dry hands. 35 is not a death sentence, it's a life sentence. I mean, it means that I'm grown and that there are things, I'm still young, but I am old enough to know better about a lot of things, old enough to do better, and old enough to share a lot of my life experiences with younger people and help people along the way. Because my 20s weren't terrible. I had a lot of fun, honestly. I think I might have traveled a little bit more in my 20s than I have in my 30s. I just think overall life is, even as difficult as life can be sometimes, there are so many things that add joy to my life, like family, my boyfriend, you know, things that I enjoy doing, that even when it feels difficult sometimes, I know there's always more life around the corner. And I guess turning 35, that's just kind of the motto. It's more life. It's more life. And getting older should not be a punishment. Getting older should not feel like punishment. Getting older is a gift. So many people don't get that gift. Gratefulness is something that I really want to work on in this new chapter of my life, because there are times where I focus on what's lacking versus what's right in front of me, and that's just like a recipe for misery. And I don't want to be like that. I don't want to be miserable. I have so much to be grateful about. There are always things that could be different, but for the most part, it's good. It's all good. Even health-wise, even having, you know, an autoimmune disease, I am very healthy. And I mean, whatever I feel like is lacking, if I can control it, I can work on that. And if I can't control it, then it's just gonna have to be what it is. One thing I can say about turning 35, one, I guess, gift I gave to myself was living in the city, and that's something that I have always wanted. It's kind of funny because when you get things that you've wanted for so long, you realize, I mean, I like it, but there are some things that are annoying as heck. And there are some things I miss about living right on the edge of the city versus in the city center. Because where I live, it's like, ooh, it is party central out here. And at this point in my life, almost 35, I've realized I don't give a crap about partying. I'm so glad to not be on that scene anymore. Being in your 20s, going out, living it up, looking for love, all of that is valid. That's a part of the journey. And I'm just grateful that I'm not on that leg of the journey anymore. That's all I'm gonna say. Even though I know that I'm not old, I like to just kind of joke and say that I'm old when I see younger folks like early, mid-20s out here. I'm like, okay, do your thing. I'm gonna just go over here and mind my old business. All right, guys, this is the hair. I meant to put some lip gloss on because my lips are looking super dry. I want to put some of it up. So here is a little high pony. And yeah, this is the finished look. One thing I'm really grateful for at this point in my life is a different relationship with debt. I still have some that I'm paying off, but I'm so grateful for finding the Dave Ramsey program a couple years ago, because that really did a lot for me. That really changed my life in so many ways. And I'm excited to just build on that knowledge, build on that work that I've done to eliminate debt. Today's the 22nd, my birthday's on the 31st. I would be grateful for the chance to make it to that point and leave some things behind, continue to grow through things, and just continue to be myself regardless of how anybody feels about it. That is a work in progress, and I truly believe that growth and learning in general does not stop. So that's all for this video, guys. Just wanted to chat with you a little bit, get myself together a little bit. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please give me a thumbs up if you did, and I will see you guys later. Bye.